This is a sample of the information provided as part of the flexible training resources available through HACCP.com. Our training courses are designed to provide training participants with an understanding of food safety and quality system elements and also offer user-friendly assessment activities and competency checklists to complete the training cycle. Product assessment and testing. Key definitions for product assessment and testing. Analytical testing, the process of assessing and evaluating the composition of a sample item using descriptive criteria including microbiological, chemical and physical parameters. Good laboratory practices or GLP, practices adopted to ensure appropriate levels of control are achieved within a laboratory environment. ISO 17025. ISO 17025 is a global standard, established by the International Organization for Standardization, for the technical competence of calibration and testing laboratories. Organoleptic refers to the properties that can be perceived by the sense, for example, color, texture, flavor and aroma. pH, from potential of hydrogen, the logarithm of the reciprocal of hydrogen ion concentration in gram atoms per liter. Provides a measure on a scale from 0 to 14 of the acidity or alkalinity of a solution where 7 is neutral and greater than 7 is more alkaline and less than 7 is more acidic. Product assessment. Product assessment is verification and validation of the specified functionality and, if applicable, development cycle. Product testing. Product testing systematic gathering, recording and analysis of data regarding a food item. Specification. A specification is an explicit set of requirements to be satisfied by a material, product, or service. Should a material, product or service fail to meet one or more of the applicable specifications, it may be referred to as being out of specification. Product assessment and testing development. When considering the development, documentation and implementation of product assessment and testing within food safety and quality management systems, the following information should be considered to ensure effective outcomes. About product assessment and testing. Product assessment and testing methods. Microbiological and chemical assessment and testing. About good laboratory practices. Physical assessment and testing. About product assessment and testing. Finished product samples must be assessed and tested against the criteria included within the finished product specifications and regulatory requirements to ensure ongoing compliance. The criteria for such assessment and testing may include food safety, food quality and regulatory parameters. Product assessment and testing is conducted to confirm that products meet their intended specifications. Whether the specification criteria being tested is from a customer specification or a regulatory standard, the outcomes of the product and assessment process must provide evidence that the product is appropriate. As each and every food product is different, so are the methods and procedures for product assessment and testing. The differences between product assessment and testing are defined as follows. Product testing is the confirmation of product parameters such as microbiological or chemical attributes through analytical methods. Product testing is often referred to as analytical testing. Product assessment is generally the comparison of physical or organoleptic parameters defined within the finished product specifications. It is common for results from product testing to be used within the product assessment process as references for microbiological or chemical attributes. It is important to consider that some analytical testing methods are defined by regulatory agencies to ensure appropriate outcomes are maintained. This may also be evident where a particular customer specification may reference certain analytical testing methods to be used for a specified test. Product assessment and testing methods. The methods applied to ensure products are conforming to specified parameters are many and varied, so much so that customers often specify the assessment and testing methods to be used. In this context, it is important to consider that all methods applied to confirm a product's conformance to agreed parameters are reliable and can produce accurate outcomes. The following examples are provided as an indication of generally accepted methods for product assessment and testing, microbiological and chemical assessment and testing. Microbiological and chemical criteria for foods are commonly defined within both regulatory and customer standards. it is important that food businesses conduct validation and verification testing on an ongoing scheduled basis to provide evidence that such microbiological and chemical limits are being met. Microbiological and chemical assessment and testing is commonly conducted either in-house, within the food business, or by a contracted external service provider. Regardless of whether in-house or external laboratories are used for microbiological and chemical assessment and testing, it is important to ensure that the testing methods and results reporting formats meet regulatory and customer requirements. In-house assessment and testing may include the use of rapid indicator tests, or standardized laboratory techniques. Where in-house microbiological and chemical assessment and testing is conducted, it is important to ensure that the methods used and outcomes applied meet the expectations of regulatory and customer standards. It is important to ensure that microbiological and chemical assessment and testing activities are conducted in a manner that meets the prescribed requirements of good laboratory practices, so as to achieve appropriate outcomes whilst not providing any risk of product contamination. Contracted external laboratory service providers are often utilized where required microbiological and chemical testing can't be conducted on-site, usually due to the availability of suitable resources. Where an external laboratory service provider is required, the nominated laboratory should be managed through the approved supplier program to ensure appropriate outcomes. The generally accepted minimum requirement for contracted external laboratory service providers is for them to be accredited to the ISO 17025 standard, which provides confidence in the testing methods and results issued by the business. ISO 17025 is a global standard, established by the International Organization for Standardization, for the technical competence of calibration and testing laboratories. The methods used for testing and reporting are often based upon published and accepted national or international standards. These are commonly given codes to differentiate a specific assessment or testing method from another method. In some cases, where a specified testing method code is nominated against microbiological and chemical criteria, it is important to ensure that the results show some correlation between the required testing method and the actual testing method employed. This is particularly important where external laboratories are used. These laboratories may have their own testing code linked to a national or international standard. In such cases, it is common for testing results to reference both internal and external testing method codes, or for the contracted laboratory to provide an equivalent statement, which provides a link between the accepted national or international standards and their internal testing codes. Examples of microbiological and chemical assessment and testing include, but are not limited to, bacteria and pathogen screening, bacterial toxin screening, food additive chemical screening, agricultural chemical screening, cleaning and sanitation chemical screening, naturally occurring chemical screening, heavy metal screening, pH assessment, allergen screening, species testing, identity preserve status testing. Need help? You can search for food testing and analysis service providers at hassup.com. Document: a document provides guidance and/or direction for performing work, making decisions, or rendering judgments which affect the safety or quality of the products or services that customers receive. Documented policies, procedures, work instructions and schedules form the basis of any food safety and quality management system. The following documentation formats may be considered to ensure ongoing compliance with specified requirements for product assessment and testing: Product Assessment and Testing Policy, Product Assessment and Testing Development Procedures, Product Assessment and Testing Implementation Procedures and Work Instructions, Product Assessment and Testing Monitoring Procedures, Product Assessment and Testing Corrective and Preventative Action Procedures, Product Assessment and Testing Verification Schedule, Product Assessment and Testing Verification Procedures, Product Assessment and Testing Validation Schedule, Product Assessment and Testing Validation Procedures, Product Assessment and Testing Training Procedures. If your food business supplies foodstuffs manufactured to a customer's specifications, it is important to consider any specific product assessment and testing documentation requirements in relation to their items. You may wish to visit the Product Assessment and Testing Template section of HACCP.com for examples of product assessment and testing documentation, record and resource formats commonly applied within food safety and quality systems. Implementation. Implementation is the application of documented food safety and quality system elements into the actual business operation. The implementation of product assessment and testing within any food business requires genuine commitment from senior management, staff and visitors to ensure the nominated goals of implementation are achievable on an ongoing basis. It is a step which requires significant planning and consideration of general and specific food business circumstances to ensure the outcomes of product assessment and testing do not negatively impact upon the safety and quality of the food items dispatched from the business. Implementation of product assessment and testing must include the clear definition of responsibilities and authorities for all levels of participation by senior management, staff and visitors to the site. When implementing product assessment and testing within a food safety and quality system, you may wish to consider the following requirements prior to completion: communication and display of the product assessment and testing policy. Completion of verification and validation of product assessment and testing development procedures. Availability of product assessment and testing implementation procedures and work instructions. Availability of product assessment and testing monitoring procedures and record templates where applicable. Availability of product assessment and testing corrective and preventative action procedures and record templates where applicable. Availability of the product assessment and testing verification schedule. Availability of product assessment and testing verification procedures. Availability of the product assessment and testing validation schedule. Availability of product assessment and testing validation procedures. Completion of product assessment and testing training procedures. Completion of product design and development requirements related to product assessment and testing. Completion of process design and development requirements related to product assessment and testing. Completion of training for team members who have responsibilities and involvement within product assessment and testing. Completion of competency approval for team members who have responsibilities and involvement within product assessment and testing. If your food business supplies foodstuffs manufactured to a customer's specifications, it is important to consider any specific product assessment and testing implementation requirements in relation to their items. Need help with product assessment and testing? Find an experienced food safety and quality consultant at HACCP.com. Did you know that HACCP.com includes resources that allow you to create, manage and implement GFSI and HACCP-based food safety and quality programs? Improve your food safety and quality skills and knowledge? Train and develop your team to create better food safety and quality outcomes? Find suppliers and service providers to partner with your business? The information and training resources available through HACCP.com included a variety of formats, such as website content, MP4, MP4 and text, MP3, PDF and slideshow. Are you ready to take the next step in your food compliance journey? Visit HACCP.com today to create your profile and access the full versions of our food safety and quality information packages and much more.